Hey guys, Luke again here. So this is my third video on chapter 4, Neurons that Shape Civilization. So once again, I thought he made fantastic arguments about mirror neurons throughout the whole chapter. I mean, there's not really a whole much I can say against it. It was all very interesting. He talked about it in chapter 1 a little bit about I talked about it in, I think it might have been my second video, about how mirror neurons, I thought it was very interesting that mirror neurons, through the evolution or the accentuation of the IPL structure, allowed us to basically free ourselves from genetic evolution and move on to this much more powerful cultural evolution. And he talks about that a lot, basically throughout the whole chapter, and especially towards the end of the book. And I mean, it really makes sense to me. He talked about, I liked how he mentioned since 500 BCE about how, 60,000 years ago we had this huge change and shift and progression forward in our abilities to mime and use fire and build shelters and things like that. But and that was like the first great leap, but now the second great leap has happened since about 500 BCE. And how even the time frame is so small that really genetics couldn't have done this all for us. So obviously something's causing this change. And he basically attributed this to mirror neurons, even though he says himself at the end of the chapter that is probably not the whole reason. I'm not smart enough to know any other reasons, but I think it makes perfect sense. I mean, right in his last sentence when he talks about, in this respect, we could say mirror neurons served in the same role as early hominin evolution as the internet, Wikipedia, and blogging do today. I mean, even 10 years ago, of course, I was, 12, but I didn't have a thirst for knowledge like I do now, but, I mean, we didn't really have Wikipedia, and the internet was there, but it wasn't like it is today. Like, now I know so much more, and I think people are just more educated in general than they were because they have access to the internet, and people's ideas can get passed around much more quickly and much more rapidly. And because of this innovation is coming about and faster and quicker than anybody's ever seen before. And as a result, I mean, we're seeing all this flood of new knowledge and new information and contributive to society. So I think it makes a very strong point. I couldn't really find anything I could argue against. Makes a whole lot of sense to me, so good on you, Ramachandran.